So this is super random, but I want to stay for the playback. Welcome to my channel. My name is Shay. For all of you who do not know, shout out to you guys for being here. Do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Okay, so today's topic is so you want to be married. Okay, like a lot of people, especially on YouTube, we get a lot of hearing about this is your marriage season, and they kind of like make marriage an idol. So I know it's late, so I'm not really like expecting a lot of people, but while people are coming in here, what are your thoughts on this topic?
First of all, let's address the fact that it's just me and you right now, and our daughter's asleep. So this is actually a part of our marriage that we don't really get too much of lately.
Okay, wait. You know what? For the playback, for all of the people who are new to this channel and all of the people who, you know, don't really know our backstory, let's talk about our backstory.
Okay.
Okay. So we've been married 9 years,
Going on 10.
and this is going to be the 10th year in October.
Uh,
And I'm black. My husband is white. We are an interracial couple. We're going to talk about how that, affected our marriage, or if that affected our marriage at all. We're going to talk about the differences in, races and all it. We're going to just like break it down. We're going to talk about, we got some stuff to talk about. Okay,
let you
I got
guys
my
into our marriage a little
handy
bit.
dandy notebook. So it's
You know those notebooks drive me crazy, y'all, because you find them randomly stuck all around the houses and drawers.
Yes.
Just stacks of notebooks. It drives me nuts.
yes.
Thank you very much, Experience Life.
So I stays with a journal. But yeah, so have you noticed like a lot of people? Did I give all the backstory?
Well,
Is
first
that
of
really
all,
it? Oh, we have
within
children.
we have
Nothing too deep.
children. Within our 10-year marriage, we've just about learned everything you could learn, and I'm sure there are some more things coming up that we'll figure out. But we've pretty much been through everything you could ever imagine
No, we done weather some storms for real.
being married.
So
And
okay.
you want to know what the hardest part is?
What?
Being married to somebody that has a calling on their life and you don't. That's the hardest part of this. Because I get things that come at me that I don't even have any idea why.
So you saying your life would be easier if I was basic, or if you married somebody basic?
My life would be easier,
Yeah, it
but it would be less enjoyable. It would be less filled with love. I know for a fact that in my life, I've never loved anyone the way I love you.
And I love you, bro.
Like, I've never even had this type of feeling, so I don't sometimes understand it. And sometimes it's hard to even grasp because you see these things on the movies and you're like, that's not real.
Right.
That type of stuff doesn't exist. And if it does exist, it sure isn't going to happen to me because I don't deserve that.
So let me tell you mine. This is how I know that I'm head over heels for my husband, right? Because nobody can get up under my skin the way my husband can. Pow. And that's like real facts. Like nobody can bother me internally the way he does. So that's how I know that I'm head over heels for you.
Well, that doesn't sound good at all.
No. Yes, it does. Because it's me. I don't allow people here.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
true. That's
you know
true.
me. I don't allow people to get that close to me for them to even bother me at all.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can take me there,
Yeah.
like I know that you have my whole heart. And a lot of it is me just wanting the best for you, the best for us. And then when we don't see eye to eye, I just be like, okay, well, you know what? all right, it's a real problem now. And I feel like I feel like, okay, you need to hear me loud and clear. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you takes me to that level. And it's
So
all because I love you. And guess what? One thing about a woman, real quick. Women, you could attest to this. Men, if you don't have a woman, you looking for one, you married, whatever, y'all gonna agree. When a woman is feeling some type of way, if she's saying it enough, and she just harping, she loves you.
Yeah,
When
that's
she
true.
stops harping, you got a problem on your hands. When a woman is fed up, she just like is done. You gonna get the okay. You gonna be expecting her to
sometimes
go.
all you want to
"Ah,
do
ah,
is
ah."
hear okay.
Yeah, but a woman, like when we really care,
Yeah, that's true.
when we're really like for real about something and passionate about
Well,
something,
I'm not denying what you're saying.
I know. But
Like, I
when we
agree with
are
you.
though, like you gonna feel it. And when we're done caring,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
you put yourself in a bad place, you gonna get the. All right,
So let's
whatever.
get back to.
Okay.
All right, so we met each other at Walmart. Is the craziest place of all. In the candy aisle of all places. Actually,
I'm not surprised. Now that I
that's
know my
not.
husband.
Yeah, it's not actually where we met each other. We actually met each other. I was walking past you,
Yes.
and you said something to me.
And I said I like your outfit.
Yep. And I said, I like yours too, or something along those lines. And I kept moving because she was with two guys. And I'm like, one of these dudes is her boyfriend. I'm not going to say anything to her. Like,
Yeah, and when he walked past and I was like, I like your outfit. Or I was no, I said you look nice.
yeah,
That's what
you
I
look
said.
nice.
I'm like, you look nice. And I just kept it moving too. And you looked at me like,
yeah, like, why is
Like,
she
why is
saying
she
this
talking to
to me
me?
with her boyfriend right here?
Yeah.
Like, what
And
kind
I-
of relationship do they have?
but wait, I was looking at him like, why is he looking at me like I'm crazy? So I just kept walking. I'm like, okay, weird.
So a couple minutes goes by, and we're in the candy aisle now, and she's like, I don't know, 5 feet from me, and I
Your
have
eyes were lighting up too,
I have a,
respectfully.
what did you say?
I said your eyes, they were lighting up
Oh
when
yeah,
you saw me.
of course. So I went, grabbed whatever I was getting, and I took off, and she did the same, and then we were standing in line. We were standing in opposite lines, and the two guys she was with, who ended up being her brother and her brother's best friend, walked away. That gave me the opening to go, okay, let's see if these are if one of these guys is her boyfriend. And I walked up and asked her,
Yes, he did.
and she said, no, that's my brother and his friend.
My little brother too. Like my little brother, he's like big.
Yeah, but your little brother was like, he was still young.
Played football.
Yeah, he
like
was just
this,
big.
just like a big dude. Okay.
So I said, are either one of those your boyfriend? She said no, and I asked
like,
her for
what?
a number.
Like, ew. Oh,
And-
and that's why he's looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yep. The rest was the rest
Mm-hmm.
actually wasn't history. We talked for a while. Then we didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a bit of a situation happen.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't even really remember why, but you don't gotta say it right now.
I'll say it.
What did you do?
I didn't do a darn thing.
It was me?
No, it was me. It was from my side. I didn't do anything.
Okay, what?
Somebody picked up my phone and called you.
Oh my gosh. I've completely forgot about that.
Yes.
A female.
Yes.
What'd she say?
I don't know.
Who was it? Look, look, I don't remember nothing. Who was it? It don't matter. Hi, Miss
Well,
Vicky.
So I never had a lock or anything on my phone, and I set my phone down.
Oh yeah, and then I stopped talking to you for so
And
much.
she stopped talking to me for quite a while. So
Wait, we going somewhere with this, y'all. This just our backstory. We going somewhere with this.
So yeah, but we've never taken the time to really talk this through with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody knows like how this all started. like
Keep
the
going.
in-depth story of it.
So a girl called my phone.
So a girl called her phone, and I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't. I left my phone unlocked.
Right.
Grabbed my phone, called you. She didn't even say anything crazy to you. She didn't say anything wild
I
or
don't
anything.
even remember. Like, I remember her calling. I don't remember, like, I don't remember the conversation. Like, I don't remember nothing.
Yeah. When we get off here, I'll tell you what was said and who it was.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Because
Oh, and where you were. I do remember.
there you go. So she had stopped
Poor
talking
thing.
to me for a little bit, and which was, you know what was the craziest part?
Respectfully, I
She
should.
didn't even tell me why. I had no clue.
Okay, because cutoff game was real strong.
She didn't even like tell me, hey, you know, this and that happened, so click. No, nothing. I
Yeah.
tried to call a couple of times. She didn't answer. I was like, okay, well, I'm done.
Now, mind you, we were very, like, consistent. We were
Yes.
very consistent.
Yep.
He would call me every night. Like, it was never a question like, oh, you know, he not really feeling me or whatever. It was never that. Like, he would call me. We would FaceTime while I was at work. You know, all that stuff.
She would come over and I would cook elaborate.
He would cook big old
Amazing
steaks
dinners.
for me. I never cooked for him.
Now, I'm not talking like little steak. I'm talking like those big
Big old
T-bone
steaks.
$50 a steak type things and
Potato salad.
yeah, everything.
Yeah, so he would, you know,
So we
put in effort.
I did. I
And
was putting in
then
effort.
I got that phone call. I'm like, oh, it's done. It's over.
So after
He's
that,
done. You're done.
something had happened, and I had happened to call her again. And this
Some
is
months later.
Months later, and she picked up the phone, and we started talking.
Oh my gosh, I do remember this.
I started talking. We started talking
crazy.
again.
I
Then you
forgot all
started
about
coming
this.
over.
I forgot all
More.
about this. Yeah.
Listen, y'all. She never spent the night.
Mm-hmm.
We never had sex. There was none of that. You know, even though I wanted to, and I tried every trick in the book you could ever imagine. She wasn't going for it, which was, you know, I stuck with, because, you know, at this point, once you got a fish on the line, I'm not willing to let that fish go. I'm reeling that fish in. Okay, so whatever it is I have to do here, I'll figure out this puzzle. I just got to find the pieces and put them together correctly. So,
That is funny.
long story short, we talked about marriage and we talked about getting married, because she was like, you ain't just gonna be, you know, dating me and, you know, this not going anywhere.
Right, it's like...
Which, listen, y'all, this is one of the key things she did with me. When the very first time we met, we got together and we had coffee. And she said to me, I'm looking to get married. If you're not looking for the same thing, you can just keep moving.
Respectfully.
She never tried to hide from me. Like, a lot of times women think that the longer I go with him, the better chance it is we have that he'll marry me.
Right.
Where in reality, if you toss the ball up to him, a lot of times he'll dunk that ball. He just doesn't know. So we're not thinking of marriage. We're not really.
Right.
Women think of that.
Right.
That's all you guys.
Why do you think that is?
Because since you were little girls watching stupid movies, you got these ridiculous ideas of grandeur in your head that there's going to be this big, huge
Knight in shining armor.
horse-drawn carriage, and you're going to have this big, huge white ball gown
And it's
on.
going to be perfect.
Yeah.
And happily ever after.
Yeah.
And marriage is nothing like that.
No, and you got something real big on your eye.
Thank you. Marriage is, I've said it so many times on the channel. Marriage is ministry.
Yes.
Marriage is warfare. Marriage is a fight. It's a battle, especially if you have children.
Yeah.
You know, because you realize that you're not fighting for yourself. You're fighting for generations. The sanity of your children. You know, a lot of children, myself, I grew up broken. Mentally, you know, like emotionally damaged behind my parents getting a divorce. You get what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
you know, your situation with your parents. And my thing was, I'm gonna fight for my marriage so that my children have a better chance in life.
Yep.
And you know, these days, a lot of people will try to make it seem like marriage is not that deep. It's just a piece of paper. Oh, it's not that deep, but it is that deep. You know.
If you look into the finances of marriage, married couples make more money. Married couples are more stable. And this isn't me just spouting things off. These you can
It's
Google
facts.
all this stuff.
Right.
These are all facts. Marriage people are more stable in finances. Married people make more money. Married people raise more well-adjusted children. Married people
Happier children.
produce other married people. Your children are way more likely to be married than to not be. These are all facts. So if you're sitting there in finances is an issue, a lot of times marriage fixes those issues. When you have boyfriend and girlfriend, your money's separate. It's a
Yes.
separate thing.
Yes.
Also, you're not working for a common goal, which is the family.
Right.
You're working for yourself because if anything ever happens in this relationship of boyfriend girlfriend, I'm on my own again.
Yep. You good, and then I'm good. And
Correct.
we got our own separate money. Right.
Exactly. So a lot of times that that's the problem is once you two are married and you're working towards a common goal of giving our children a better lives, giving us a better life, you're more likely to buy a home, which is where you're building wealth
Stable.
and equity in. So these are all things that are facts that come along with marriage.
And then, like, I see a lot of people, social media these days, and they're like, oh, marriage is not that deep. And women will much rather just keep having children out of wedlock, and men just would rather keep having children out of wedlock and not realizing the importance of marriage. Like, of course the Bible says that marriage is honorable. But at the end of the day, it's honorable, yes. But the biggest reward about being married is watching our children become these amazing human beings.
Yep.
Would you say that?
Absolutely.
Would you say like that's like a really big part of, marriage is watching your children
Yes.
become amazing, well-rounded individuals.
Yep.
And that is so rewarding
It is.
to see. So, you'll see generations of well-rounded individuals until you die.
Yep.
And what better blessing than that? Like, to be on your deathbed knowing I did a dang on good job. Okay? And then you able to just close your eyes and just rest.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
anyway, back to us.
okay, back to us.
We were driving down a highway, and I looked over at her and I said, "Hey, do you want to get married this weekend?"
I sure did.
Yeah, because you know what? We're not doing this big wedding. We're not wasting money on all that stuff. We're not. All that stuff was frivolous to both of us. We both don't see the necessity in it.
Yes,
Like,
we were in the car. I'm like, this weekend.
when
I'm like, what? You for real? He's like, yeah.
it was like a Monday.
I'm like, oh, well, let's do it. Our family's tripped out. Well, mine did. My family freaked out.
My family knew not to say anything to me.
Yeah, my family
Like-
was like, you don't even really know him, and da 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 da. And I'm just like, well, whatever. It is what it is.
We went downtown. We got our marriage license. We lined up. Her pastor to her church refused to marry us, but he had an issue with me. He liked her, and he wasn't about to let her go without a fight. So that's
That
another
hurt me.
that's another story for
Yeah,
another
that
day,
is
I
another
guess.
story. Okay, so here I have some little things that I wrote down. And let's start with, because we're doing the good, bad, and the ugly, right?
Yep.
Let's start with dealing with the in-laws.
Woo.
Okay, let's start.
Okay. Well,
Wait, after how many days and months? I missed it. Did we get married?
Did we get married?
Okay, so we met 2013. And would you say like February we met or
Yeah.
something like that? February,
Yeah.
March-ish or something. And then, we're going strong for like a month, right?
Yep.
Then I stopped talking to him because some female called my phone and I just completely like cut him off. Then we started talking again. I don't know what, in the summertime.
Yep.
Would you say
Summertime.
like May, June?
Yeah, probably.
So like
around
we
there.
took like a 2-month break and then May, June. And then we got married in October.
Yep.
So however many months that is.
Yep.
Yeah. However many months that is. Give or take. I don't really remember, but I do know it wasn't like mad years. Like everybody in my family, like, you don't even really know him. I'm like, so in my family, there were people who were being celebrated for being baby mothers.
Yep.
I never wanted that for myself.
They
I
still
could have
do
been
it.
that. I couldn't. They still do it. I could have been a baby mother. I didn't want that for me. Like that wasn't for me. I knew I need to be taken care of, like emotionally, mentally, like physically, all of those things. And I want it done through marriage, commitment, and I just couldn't even believe all of the backlash that I was getting because I wanted to get married. I'm like, do y'all prefer that I just go out and be somebody's baby mother? Like, do you prefer that I just, settle for the bare minimum and, now I got a kid and I'm struggling and I'm like, no.
Right.
Like, it was so hard for me and it was very hard to adjust to the backlash. Like, I had to really cut people out of my life behind my marriage and behind me wanting to get married, because it's like, how dare you not support something that I want to do that's positive?
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And then I realized, when we got married, we realized, okay, I want to start a business. I got the same response. Oh, you need to go get a real job. Oh, blah, blah. Like, I don't deal with them people. I can't do it. So, yeah.
So how long was it?
I don't know. I told her to do the math because I can't think right now.
That's we'll say May, June, July, August, September, October. We got married in November. So 6 months.
When is our anniversary? See, this is what I be talking about. When is our anniversary? We got married in when? In November? Is that what you just said?
No, I just said October.
You said November, boo.
I meant October. I meant October. I went past it 1 month. You act like I went 6 months from then.
Yeah.
It's October.
When is our anniversary?
You know what, y'all? I'm pretty sure I said October. Listen,
He didn't.
I'm pretty sure I did.
He didn't.
Y'all
Please
need
tell
to.
him.
Y'all
Hi,
need to.
Franny. Please tell him he said that our anniversary is in November. Please tell him that he said November.
They're gonna just stick up for you anyway.
No, they're not. I hope they stick up for what's right and true.
Yeah, which is whatever she said. So I've learned that a long time ago.
Full of crap. Okay, so dealing with in-laws.
Dealing with in-laws.
You want to start, or you
Sure.
want me to start?
Sure, I'll start.
Okay, you can start.
You can go ahead. You know
No,
what?
no, you start. You start, boo.
Dealing with in-laws.
Set the atmosphere, baby.
Okay, with my father-in-law,
My dad.
this is the way I look at it. I took her off your hands. I did you a favor. In the olden days, you
In
would
the
have
olden
gifted
days.
me cows and a whole big dowry just for taking her.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
I don't need you to like me. I don't need any of that. You respect me because I treat your daughter right. I don't put my hands on her. I don't sleep around. I'm home every day. I raise my family. I focus on her. I focus on your grandchildren. And other than that, you don't have to like me. You respect me, and that's fine with me. My mother-in-law,
Oh,
my
goodness.
mother-in-law,
Okay.
it took some time and some arguments, many arguments, long arguments, aggravating arguments to get her to where she sees me now. There was a lot of fixing I had to do in my wife that came from my mother-in-law, and then my mother-in-law thought she could still talk to my wife like she was her child and talk down to her, and I wouldn't accept that because I don't do that. I don't care who you are, being my mother-in-law or whoever it is you are. If I'm not
It's
speaking
true.
to my wife like this, you aren't going to be addressing her like this. So we're gonna argue this out until you
And
get,
did.
and we did, until you realize that I'm not gonna let it slide ever. I'm not gonna let a look go by. I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm always going to make sure that my wife feels good about herself and who she is and what's going on and what's being said to her. And in turn, that fixes a relationship between my mother-in-law and my wife, because now my mother-in-law is being more careful about what she's saying and not just letting anything fly out of her mouth because I'm right there to, you know, give pushback. So
And that's true.
yeah.
So thank you, Franny. That's my girl. My baby girl. So, you know, for anybody who is single and you want to be married, that's a little nugget right there. When you marry someone and you have in-laws, it's only like right that, you know, there's some bumping of the heads
Yep.
because you're used to a certain pattern. You're used to a certain, you know, level of you know, your son or your daughter. And, you know, you're gonna have the bumping of the heads.
Yep.
But one thing you always need to have is respect for your son-in-law or your in-laws, you know, whether it's the mother or whatever. You need to always have respect for the daughter-in-law, the son-in-law. Like, there's always has to be respect. And if there is like a family where you get in resistance and there's pushback, then you push back and you defend your spouse. Period.
Yep.
Okay.
So it was hard, like with my mother-in-law, but now it's different.
Right.
Once she figured out that, because my mother-in-law's got some ways about her.
Like my husband, moral of the story, is a protector.
Right.
Moral of the story, like he gonna step.
To anyone.
He gonna step. Let's just say that.
It doesn't matter. Like if I think that you somehow hurt my wife and I don't do, like if you're doing something to her that I don't even do, we have an issue.
Right.
Like we just and that doesn't matter who it is. We could be at my kid's school, and if I feel like the teacher's talking, you know, crazy, I step in and
Right.
you know. So,
That's true.
but it can be difficult, especially coming from a different situation.
So we're gonna answer this question, and then I'm gonna get into my perspective, or about my in-laws. Do you marry the person or do you marry the family? I hear this a lot.
You marry the person.
100%. That's my
Forget
answer.
the family.
Right.
Like
That's,
they ain't got nothing to do with anything. Listen, if they don't like it, they can stay outside your house.
that part.
Yep. If they have a problem, if you are being loved and you are being taken care of, both man and female, if you two are taking care of it, then who cares what anybody else has to say about anything?
Right. And for me, my thing is like I had resistance with my family and everything, and those people weren't taking care of me.
Right.
Those people weren't holding the door open for me. Those people weren't making sure that I was good. Those people weren't coming to bring me gas when I was running out.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, those people never held me down the way that my husband does. And, you know, of course, my dad, you know, I can get anything out of him. But that's not the point. Like, I now have that in my husband. So, yeah. I say marry the person. You marry the person. The family, That's why the Bible says, it says to leave your father and your mother and cleave to your spouse.
And
So that's
here,
why the Bible says that.
let's give a situation real quick.
Okay.
It's Christmas Day, right? See, here's and you're sitting up here worrying about having to go over to your in-laws' house. Here's the thing. This is what started happening in our house. We, on certain occasions, on certain holidays, don't go over to any in-laws' house.
Right.
We have a family
That comes
right
first.
here under this roof.
Exactly.
That is first. So we'll do Thanksgiving here. Like, we're not going outside. No, we are raising a
used to.
family. We used to. We are raising a family, and we're trying to bring this family up correctly. And
With
we're not-
traditions of our own.
right, with traditions and things of our own that you can't get from going over to anyone else's house.
Right. So, did your mother feel some type of way?
No, she got it.
My family, we always been like so close, and it's hard for them to adjust to the fact that I'm not always pulling up. Like, I'm not always gonna be there because I have my own family that I'm raising over here with our own traditions. Like, that's what's most important to me, that they can pass down to their children. So it's like,
Yeah.
that's just what it is.
You're,
So keep going.
this holiday, this is important. It's a family building event. And these are, your kids aren't going to look back and remember a lot of the toys and things you gave them.
No.
Your kids are going to look back and remember the experiences. And having Thanksgiving every morning when I wake up and mommy's cooking and daddy's watching football and, we can all.
Mommy and daddy.
Right, and we can sit together and do things together and talk together and laugh together. Those are experiences they're going to remember. They're not going to remember you going to your in-laws' house and being miserable the whole time. Or they're going to remember
They'll
that.
remember that, but
They'll remember that.
Right.
And be like, ugh. They're going to start looking at their family and going, ugh, these crazy people. So, you marry the person.
100% marry the person, because it's a no for me. Hi, Ashtino.
Okay, so my wonderful mother.
Okay, so my mother-in-law. Okay, so no, let's recap. You gave your take on, my dad, my mom.
Yep.
My dad, he's really distant. My mom, really not distant, very upfront in your face, tell you how she feel, yada yada. My mother-in-law is extremely needy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, listen,
Like-
there was a long time. It doesn't happen anymore because I stopped it. But there was a long time for almost 30 years that I was my mother's husband. And I took care of everything. And I mean everything. I did everything. You
Fix
name it.
things, shoveling, raking the leaves, doing this, doing that.
Anything you can think of. I did.
And yes, and I never, not once, not once, confronted my mother-in-law like, oh, this is, doing a little too much. He has his own family. I never, not once, but I did address my husband. I'm like, absolutely not. Like, okay, it's one thing to be, taking care of your mother, if she's in dire need. But the fact that she's just used to a system and it's like, you have your own family over here. That's not going to work.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I would never be like, oh, you can't go over there. But at some point, you have to pick and choose what's important, what's not.
Yeah.
Oh, because she want, her shower head put up. Like, okay, she has a husband at home.
Right.
Okay, he can do that.
Yep.
So we had to, really get that situated. But other than that, my mother-in-law is not really an issue for me.
My mother-in-law
She-
loves my wife to death.
And make no mistake, your mother-in-law be saying crazy stuff too.
Oh, my mother-in-law, or my mother is.
Yeah.
See, you know what my mother's problem is? she means really well. She really does. But she sometimes talks to my wife like she's talking to me. Like she addresses you like she's talking to me. And she doesn't realize that you don't love her the same way I do because I'm her son. Like, so my mother will just say some wild stuff, and my wife will get upset. And I'll be looking at my wife. Listen, I know, but my
Yeah,
mother
that's it.
means well. I
Yeah.
promise you, this was no dig. She just thinking she's helping.
Yeah.
So I know, and I can't tell you how many times I've apologized for my mother.
Yeah, he had to talk me down off some ledges. I'm like, but again, like, it's a respect thing. I never, not once, went to my mother-in-law. I was like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I would never do that because, like, I'm just not going to do that.
And again, though,
But my mother is the type of mother where she says things in the same exact way. However, my mother is the type of woman that needs a man
oh yeah,
to, back her down.
oh,
so to speak.
without a doubt. Because
Like,
if you let it run wild, she will. If you let her start, if you like the match, she will pour gas on it.
Yeah, so like my mother is the type of man who, woman. My mother is the type of woman
You almost said it
who
about
needs. No, my mother is the type of woman who needs a man to like literally like, check her a little bit.
right. Yeah.
But like my mother-in-law, she's not that type of woman, so I don't have to be like checking her and like, again, he's a man, you check her.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you feel about this? Because I see a lot of people on the internet and they be like, oh, who's more important? If you in a car, does your wife get the front seat or does your mother get the front seat?
Well, my wife gets the front seat if she wants it. But my wife gives my mother the respect to sit in the back.
Every single time.
Like, but my mother will be the first one to go, "Hun, you can sit in the front. You don't have
Right.
to sit in the back. You're the wife here. You get in the front."
Right.
But my wife shows the respect to say, "No,
Right.
I'll sit back here."
Right. Because guess what? Oh, our daughter is.
Oh
moving.
no, she is not getting.
So, my mother never played that. You ain't talking back to no teachers in school. You gonna show respect. You gonna be respectful. You gonna say yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Yeah.
You gonna listen. You gonna say Miss and Mrs. and Mister. You address adults the way that they're supposed to be addressed. So, when I really got married and I got a mother-in-law, it was easy for me to just be like, okay, I'm about to get in the back seat because that's just who I am. Like,
Yeah.
and now my kids, I don't play that with them. Like, you're not gonna just be calling an adult by their first name. Like,
Right.
absolutely not. And now that I'm an adult and I understand that, that's how I am. Like,
Right.
period. So, when my mother-in-law gets in the car with us, I get in the back.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. It's respect. You're older than me. You done had knee surgeries and all types of stuff. Like, come on now. We're not doing that.
Right.
The only time that I did not get in the back seat, when my mother-in-law got in the car is when I was
In labor.
in labor. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Really big.
And she doesn't. My father's passed away, so she doesn't have to worry about my father.
Yes.
So.
But I'm pretty sure he would have been a handful if I hear the
Yeah.
stories correctly.
Yeah, he would have.
He liked black women, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. My father loved all women. He was
Yeah,
an international man of love.
He liked all of them, huh? Let me see. Franny says, it's surprising to me to see how many people don't say please or thank you as adults. Yeah, like my mom didn't play that. Like, you get smacked right in your mouth.
Yeah.
If you go calling some adult by their first name. Or if you not, or if you minding grown folks' business. That was a big thing in our house.
I want to go back to my mother-in-law.
You're not
real
about to do
quick.
that. Okay.
So, and this is with anyone. And I'm saying this because she just got done talking about my mother, and I talked about her mother. You need to read the room of who and what you can treat people like. Like, the minute I figured out my mother-in-law, I knew, okay, I can't back down here. Because if I back down now, forever,
You'll be backing
I'll
down.
be backing down.
And make no mistake, my mother loves my husband now.
Absolutely.
Like, it was a really big thing in the beginning of our marriage, but my mom loves my husband now. Like,
Oh, yeah.
First of all, if she called my phone, if my mom called my phone and I don't answer the phone, she gonna call his phone.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like my mom loves my husband. My husband-in-law.
Where's she at?
My husband-in-law.
Right. Oh, she's in the shower. All right. Well, listen. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. So, it was worth it. It
Yeah.
wasn't just we were just falling out. Like no, it went somewhere. We got somewhere. We progressed.
Yes, you have to
You know,
figure
like-
out what. Like, my wife figured out my mother. I figured out my mother-in-law. Every situation is going to be different.
Right.
You just have to solve that Rubik's cube of what it is. Like, what is exactly what type of person is this, and how exactly can I make the best out of this situation?
Right. Okay, so we did.
Let's talk about our mixed situation. You going
What, the interracial?
Yeah.
Interracial part. Okay, let's talk.
and how different it is.
Okay.
But
Okay. Well, I got a question for you.
Okay.
For the people.
okay,
Have you ever dated a white girl?
no.
Huh?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, what do you consider dating? Are you talking like high school? Because you know that one story.
Yeah, I do know that one story.
That was it.
That was it.
That was it. That took.
That was a
that,
deal
that
breaker.
was. Once I figured that. Listen, white girls. Trying to think of a real light way to say this.
Okay, if it's not nice, then don't say it.
It's not that it's not nice, but white girls can get us into some real wild stuff.
Yeah.
Real wild stuff.
Sexually.
Yes.
And it's kind of like.
And it can kind of now listen. I'm down for a good time, like, but
You were.
yeah, no, I'm down with a good time with you. But there are some things that go beyond the lines of
They have no limits.
none.
No boundaries.
A lot of them.
Sexually, no boundaries.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Listen to our little.
I know she can cry. What?
Okay, keep
Like
going.
she needs to get some sleep.
She does.
She's delirious.
She is.
Girl, like
Okay,
you need to tap out.
Keep going.
They can really they
Okay.
it's a lot. So,
So,
anyway, yeah.
Have you ever dated a white girl?
One.
Okay. And ever since then, like you've been dating black girls,
Like no,
black women,
it's no.
or like
I'm
have you ever dated another
yeah.
race, like
yeah.
Puerto Rican,
Yeah.
or like okay, butter pecan, okay,
Like I'm not. I don't look at
Persuasion.
and you know this. Like I wasn't raised to look at people like that.
right,
If you're a good person, you're a good person. Like the color never mattered.
okay,
Like ever.
right,
If I liked you, you were good, and this doesn't matter, male or female. Like if you were cool, that I'm good with you.
right, because you have black friends, you have
I have black
white
friends. I
Yeah.
have white friends.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like I never stop to think, oh, this person's black. I can't be friends with them. How dare I? Like that type of thinking blows my mind.
No, for real.
Because
I don't
the way
understand.
I think, then if you're only willing to go within your certain square, then you're going to be dumb. Mm-hmm. Because that means if you're willing to put stigmas on other people just by the color of their skin, then you're not willing to look outside for anything, nothing. That means you're ignorant and you're not willing to see the big picture of the world.
So it's pretty dope. You would say it's pretty dope seeing and experience the other cultures.
Yeah.
Cause that's me. Like I don't speak with these people now, but Puerto Rican friends. I think the only type of people that I never had an up close personal relationship with was Chinese people. Like I've never experienced a Chinese person up close and personal. But my best friend is white. I had Puerto Rican friends, like black friends, like
I
white.
was cool
I've
with
never
Chinese, a couple of Chinese people.
really like I've never had that experience, and it's never too late. However, it's just like I've never seen people like, oh, you're white, you're Puerto Rican, I can't deal with you. Like I know Dominican people up close, like top tier cook, to be to be completely honest with you. So I am diverse in that area. Like I feel like that was honestly God preparing me for what he's called me to do. Like I
Right.
can't see people like that.
I can't, like, it's just mind blowing to me, like that you're not gonna address somebody because of the color of their skin.
Right. So you want to ask me?
But yet when we all die, we all literally go in the same place. We all
When we get
end up-
hurt,
like
we all bleed red.
yeah, all our bones break.
Right.
Like
We all cry tears. We all
so
human is human. Like come on.
it's stunning to me. But anyway, so you go to my family's house. Has my family ever treated you any different?
No.
Never. As a matter of fact, I say this, they treat you better than they treat me at times. Like it's stunning to me. Like, wait a minute, I'm the family here. Like I brought her into this. How dare y'all act like this with me?
Yep.
But
I get gifts on my birthday. He don't.
yeah, like how is this going on? Like people will be texting me, telling her happy birthday.
No, they text me.
Or text her, but yet and nobody texts me happy birthday. Never. Like I'll be like, ain't nobody remember my birthday today. Like, but it's crazy. Like, so anyway, now ask me the same question.
What question? I asked you if you ever dated.
No, I'm talking about being treated differently by your family.
Oh gosh. Okay. Have you ever? Have you ever been treated differently by my family?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, like, okay, with your family, you feel like they're more welcoming to me.
Absolutely.
Okay, my family. Less welcoming for you?
Absolutely.
Why do you think that is? You can be honest, because you're white.
Yeah.
Right.
But and I was trying to think of if there was anything else that could go along with that. But
first impression was because
absolutely.
Right off rip,
because
it
I
was
white.
because you're white.
Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt.
And I got so much like backlash. And I don't know if it's like trauma from slavery or like, what have you, but it's like, number one, my husband is Greek. They weren't even here during the transatlantic slave trade. Like they weren't here.
Yeah, like I had
then-
nothing to do with any of that.
And then on top of that, it's like, some people can't wrap their minds around interracial marriages.
Mm-hmm.
And, for me, being married to who I'm married to, it's not about race. Like, again, you've treated me nothing less than a queen this whole time. We have our spats, but you've never disrespected me, called me out my name, went upside my head. Like, you've never done any of that. Like, you've been a stand-up guy from day one.
Mm-hmm. And
that's marriage material. Like, I can't look and be bitter about, slavery.
Things that I have nothing to do with.
I can't,
Zero.
But like people, again, like they can't wrap their minds around interracial marriages. And it's like, I can't be bitter about something
Right.
that happened, hundreds of years ago. That's not what God told me to do. God told me to love. And he didn't tell me who to love. He just told me to love. He just told us to love.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And he went even a step further. He said, love your enemies.
Yeah.
So even if you were, some sort of slave person, descendant, How do I know that I'm not a slave person's descendant? Because I got some white in me.
But not only that, well, we won't get into all that.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into it. But we're not gonna get into that part. But it's like, again, like I don't have time to be like focusing and being bitter about something that happened hundreds of years ago when the Bible says vengeance belongs to Christ.
Right.
What that got to do with me?
Yeah.
Like, of course, it's my history. I know it's tragic. It's terrible. But
to hold on to it.
hold on to it is just, it's crazy. And I've come too far in my walk with Christ, forgiving people, loving people, all of these things that I can't allow myself to go backwards.
And on top of it, you're going to be blocking so many blessings that could come to you.
Exactly. And not even that, like, I've spent so much of my energy fighting people that look like me.
Yeah.
Like, I spend more time and more energy over the years fighting people that look like me than I ever did white people, than I ever did Puerto Rican people, than I ever did Chinese people, than I ever did any type of person. Like, I've spent more time dealing with negativity from my own people. And it's like, how about we focus on that? Like, how about we focus on loving us?
Right.
Like, let's stop talking about slavery so much and let's, like, start embracing us. Stop killing us, you know, stop tearing us down. That's my thing. And it's like, you know, a lot of people, again, they can't wrap their minds around interracial marriage. But it's like, at the end of the day, if somebody is treating you right, then that's just all that matters, period.
Yeah. And let me bring up something about white people.
And do you think people feel like, oh, like they would be in an interracial marriage, but they feel like, oh, they're gonna be betraying.
Oh, absolutely.
They'll be betraying the culture somehow.
No. They're
I don't know, because I never thought like that.
They're terrified of what their families are gonna say. They're terrified about what people are gonna say. There's so many built-in fears that.
Yeah. See, and like with me, I never cared. Like, I don't care about none of that.
I'll fight you over it. Like, I really don't care. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you have to say. Nothing. Because at the end of the day, you aren't here to make me happy.
Right.
You aren't here to pay my bills. You aren't here to do none of that.
Right.
And and that was the way I look at my wife's family. Like, listen, y'all ain't coming over to my house paying my bills. You have no say in what goes on here at all.
Right.
Like, period. So I don't care what you say. I treat her better than all you treat the women in your lives. So how dare you have anything less than respect to give me?
Right.
You don't have to like me. I could care less.
But now they've gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Everyone
know,
knows him. Like,
yeah, they all know me now.
they know him.
Like,
So.
and they know what, you know. But
Right.
in the beginning, it wasn't like that. You know, in the beginning, I would have to hear things about all sorts of white people things, but they would look at me and go, but not you. Like,
Oh,
no,
they would be saying like racial slurs. My family saying racial slurs, and he would like, and they'd be like, well, not you.
My
And it's
family
like-
would die before they did anything.
Yeah, my
like
family
that.
or his family would never, ever, ever.
Never. Wouldn't even. You know what? I can say with no doubt in my mind, those thoughts never come up
Yeah, no.
in my family's mind. Not even the thought. Like, at all. And a lot of times, white people, not all of them. There are a lot of ignorant people out there, but a lot of them
Very.
look at life and they go, listen, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. So let's have fun. Like, the vast majority of any white people you've been around, is that not their attitude on things? Like, listen, we're not here for a long time, so let's have fun while we are here, and embrace you and welcome you in to have fun with them. Like, let's do it. And if more people would do that, you'd find that a lot of issues would be.
And it's like, again,
fixed.
the love. That's why the Bible says, I hate to like just keep on bringing up the Bible. No, I don't. I love it. But I don't want to just like beat y'all over the head with, Bible scriptures. However, that's what's in me. So it's like, the Bible says, the first and greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, your mind, your soul. And the second commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself.
Yep.
So it's like, y'all don't think God knew about slavery? Y'all don't think he knew? He knew.
Yep.
And slavery was our curse. It was our punishment for not doing what we were supposed to do,
Yeah.
for touching the unclean thing, for not, you know, being who we were supposed to be. We were supposed to be the example. And we blew it. So here we are, and we're in a foreign land, and you know, we all mixed up. It's black and niece and all like interracial children, and like that's a part of the curse. But at the end of the day, it's beautiful.
Yep.
It's beautiful for me. And again, like people be like, oh, they could never. But at the end of the day, it's not for everybody.
Nope.
For me and for him, we were supposed to break down racial barriers in our families, and we did just that.
Yes, we did.
It was already written.
Yep.
Before we were in our mother's wombs, the Lord knew that we were going to be married
Yep.
and joined together as one.
Yep.
It's not a surprise. Like, it's not a shock
Nope.
to the Lord. Like, okay, so anyways, keep going.
So you just have to, you know, you have to find balance in everything.
Mm-hmm.
And in a situation, if you're having issues with your in-laws, there's problems, then either your spouse needs to address it with the family so you feel comfortable, or just don't go around.
No, for real. I'm quick to cut people off,
Yeah.
respectfully.
All right.
Shell, you are absolutely correct. We can be the problem. Franny says, my local old Chinese restaurant ran by Vietnamese people from my church. They always looked out for me.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Franny, good Lord. Oh, man.
I don't know if we tired
Sometimes
or
y'all
what,
crack me
'cause
up.
this was just funny. No, for real. Like, no. I'm tired. Okay. Franny. So for me, like, I'm talking about, like, experience a Chinese person, like, have a Chinese person in my phone, like, oh, that's my friend. Like, I've experienced.
Not the Chinese restaurant's phone number in your phone. That don't count.
I'm crying. Like, yeah, no, not that. But I see what you was doing there.
Ashtino says somebody
Okay.
crying. Yes, that's our daughter.
Yeah, he's not going to get my baby. I don't know.
No.
He says she need to go to sleep. She literally is a brat. Like, she think that I'm not supposed to put her down. It's like, girl.
Now,
you
listen,
need to grow up.
Listen, I told you, listen. I said you need to let her cry. Now listen. No crying.
No crying.
She needed to go to sleep.
She do need to go to sleep. She is exhausted. I don't know if she's teething or what. But while we have Miss Franny on here, you guys, guess what I got in the mail? This, y'all see that? Look at this. Written by Frances Crouch. That is our Franny. When you hear me say Franny, this is her. Author Franny. Put some respect on her name, okay? Spending time with mommy. I'm gonna put a link in the description. Uh-oh, my phone dying. I'm gonna put a link in the description where you guys can purchase this book. Spending Time with Mommy. This book is amazing. My daughter loves this book. The illustrations are absolutely beautiful. Look at that. So if you have like a young kid, or if you just want to support, look at that. That's freaking gorgeous. Amazing. Put some respect on her name, okay?
Yes, very, very cool.
This is beautiful. The illustration just like, I love it so much. But that is, you know, just a pause.
Yes,
in our
very
little-
cool.
This is just, I am just so proud. Like, I literally feel like a proud big sister. This is just amazing.
Listen, and there's so many of you guys out there that watch our videos that do really, really cool stuff.
No, for
So
real.
shout out to all of you.
No, for real. If you guys want to, what was I gonna say?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, if you guys want to buy the book, the link is in the description.
It will be. It will be. I didn't
will
put it
be.
in there. Yes, this. And then we have on this Saturday, we have Dion Norman coming. This book is also amazing. This book will be the link. You will also be able to purchase this book as well. This book is her testimony. This book is deep. This book made me feel all the feels. This book is really good. It's about Hebrew Israelite doctrine.
Listen, guys,
And
I got into this book a little bit, and I'll tell you what, it blew my mind.
this book, this is a good book. This is a good read. Y'all have to get this book. Again, that will be in the description. I chose God over him. Then we have Spending Time with Mommy. All Black authors. And Amelia. Y'all know Amelia is always on here. She has books. I have 4 books from her, and I think I have 6 of them. But Amelia.
Look at that. It's a mixed couple in that.
It's a mixed couple.
See?
Yep.
It was meant to be.
Yep. What's this one called? Love Don't Come Easy, Part 1. Where's Part 2? Here we go. Love Don't Come Easy, Part 2. Amelia, she really about that life. She is. Look at this.
So, again,
this is thick.
Y'all be sitting in here talking to each other in the
Look at
comments,
this.
and
Yes.
these are all
Black
things
authors. Look at this. First kiss.
from all people that you've all come in contact
Young women.
with.
Yes. And I'm just like, look at this one. This one is called Shattered. Y'all hear me? So I'm like, okay. Y'all has inspired me to write a book or something. This is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So please, these will also be in the link.
Yes.
To go purchase.
You all need to be
And I'm-
very proud of yourselves.
And I believe that absolutely, y'all need to be very extremely proud of yourselves. And I believe that all of Amelia books are 99¢ at this moment. So, and she has more that I don't have. So again, do not, let the time pass you by. Go support these women, young women. Go support these young women. I don't want to hear you talk about, oh, I'm pro-Black if you're not going to supporting these women. You ain't pro-Black if you ain't supporting them.
And these
women.
books are literally 99¢.
Yeah, these.
These ones.
Yep.
So
99¢.
there's no reason.
No excuse. I don't want to hear nothing. Maybe we should start a book club.
Experience Life, it's through Amazon, so they will ship anywhere in the world.
Yes. Where you at? Was that ghetto? Was that
Nah.
ghetto? Okay. Where are you?
So listen, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
What's been the hardest part of our marriage? The hardest part.
The hardest part of our marriage, outside of like,
Anything. You pick the hardest part and let me know.
the hardest part of our marriage for me has been all the trials.
Yes.
Trial after trial after trial. We went through 7 years of back-to-back trial, back-to-back heartache, hardship. It was just like back to back to back. And it was so overwhelming. And God knew that I was at the point where I was just about to break. He was at the point where he was just about to break. And then God gave us breakthrough.
Yep.
Literally. But he pushed us through the limit. And you know, like, what, this just dropped in my spirit. When you are training to be a Navy SEAL, you have to go through extensive training.
Yes, you do.
They submerge people. You have to be submerged in water. Oh, I'm about to take you there. You have to be submerged in water to pass certain levels, to get to the next level, right? To become a Navy SEAL. So in our struggling and in our, our trials, we were being submerged in water. But at the end of the day, we were being submerged in the Holy Spirit, to be completely honest, because there is no cleaner water.
Right.
There is no better water to be submerged in than the Holy Spirit. And at that time, it felt like we were drowning.
Yep.
Felt like we were about to die.
Oh, did it?
It felt like we were about to just drift off into the light.
Yep.
But then the Holy Spirit pulled us back up and said, you're not going to die. You shall live and not die.
Yep.
And I think that was the hardest part, was being in those trials and not really understanding what God was doing.
Right.
Yep.
So,
that was mine. What's yours?
within going through all those things, learning how to be a husband in this day and age, Like I saw it from my grandparents. I've seen it, but it's different now.
Right.
So learning how to be your husband in particular is the hardest thing. Was the hardest by far.
I feel like learning to be your wife was kind of easy because for a woman, again,
Well, it's easier.
it's our
for you.
jobs to follow.
Yeah, it's easier.
So
for you.
listen, when you're a man, if you want to set the mood or you want to set the tone or you want to set the atmosphere for your marriage, be exactly who, you know, be not the perfect husband, but be the best husband that you could be. Because when a woman sees that, we're automatically going to follow. It's just like
But you don't
given.
know how hard it is, though. Like when you're saying that, it sounds so simple. It's really not.
Okay, so you're telling the truth. So let's talk about the beginning of our marriage. In the beginning of our marriage, we never saw eye to eye.
Ever.
We never saw eye to eye. We did not get along. We just was like,
She would say red, I'd say blue. She'd say up, I'd say down.
No, for real.
Left, right. It just.
it was so rough.
Yes.
Like we would just argue like cats and dogs.
We
We
would.
would just be like at each other's throats.
Yep.
And in that time, I told him, I'm like, I don't feel like you're leading. Like, and then I'm just like, I was blaming him, and not really like explaining, like, you have to lead our family.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of me like just explaining that to him, I would just be like, and that never will get you anywhere.
And then on top of that, everything was being dumped on us, too.
Yes,
And it was
all the
like,
trials.
yes.
Oh, it was just so terrible. It was just hard.
So,
it was just really hard.
I had to get to the point where I said, I have to literally see every piece of my wife. All the good, all the bad. And then I have to learn how to work with it.
Right.
Not
and
change it, work with it.
Right. But do you think that once you changed, I changed?
Yes.
Would you say that?
Yes.
Honestly. Okay.
I mean, there was a bit in time where I had to pull you along, but you came. Like, sometimes I'd have to drag you by your toes, but you came.
Be like that
but
sometimes.
it's hard, especially for a man in today's day and age when we're being told that everything we're doing is wrong. And
Yes.
that we're the problem, and then turn around and go, okay, lead us.
Right. Like,
Like
huh? Yeah, so you
sometimes I have to be the bad guy. Sometimes I have to make unpopular decisions. Sometimes, the things that I say aren't going to be what you want to hear. But a lot of times it's what's right at that time.
right.
Like, I don't want to have to tell you no over things sometimes, but sometimes I have to. Same thing with the kids. I don't want to have to tell them no, but they need to hear no sometimes.
Right.
Because if you don't hear no and everything's always a yes, you're going to grow up to be a terrible person.
Explain.
Every time we go into the store, every single time, there's not one time that this doesn't happen. Our kids think that they are entitled to be bought things.
No, for real. It's real
Everything.
bad. It's real bad.
And half the problem was when they were babies, they were cute kids, real cute kids. We would go into stores and random people would be handing them money
Yep, to get stuff.
to
no
buy
lie.
stuff.
No lie,
They-
no lie.
We would random people that we
Yeah,
have
it's
no
true.
idea who these people were. Would walk up and hand my daughter, my 2-year-old daughter, a $20 bill and go,
She sure did.
Have your daddy buy you something.
Yep.
Like, and this didn't
They
happen
always
once.
got that treatment.
This happened all the time.
Yep.
So then, as they're getting older, and they think, this is a store where everything's free. People just hand us money and we get things. No, life doesn't work like that. Daddy, buy me this. No.
Right.
Daddy, get me that. No.
Right.
I had to tell my wife, no, stop buying them stuff. Because every time we go into the store, they think they're entitled to something.
So let me tell y'all this. So I was just like, well, why can't they get this? And why can't, our kids get this? And why can't they get something every time? Like, I was that parent. I'm like, okay, yes, it's only this. It's only, a little piece of gum or out the gumball machine. Or, I had to learn to say no to my children because my husband explained to me children who never heard no are the ones that are in jail right now for rape.
Yep.
Because, you never heard no growing up. So when a woman tells you no, stop touching me, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
back up. You never heard no, so you don't even know how to act or respond to that. So you just take it anyway, and
And who explained that to you?
you did.
I did.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, okay. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, I
because
said, yeah.
there are, and this is a real thing.
Yeah.
And it's so small. And this is the problem with a lot of stuff is that the little things grow up into really big situations.
Mm-hmm. You can go get her. I'll hold her.
No. No. This has to
It's got
stop.
the crying out method.
This has to stop.
I know. I don't like it.
So, so experience, I said, but were you two staying in the relationship because you knew God was your foundation or because divorce wasn't an option? I'm going to give you mine, and I'm going to let y'all in on a
Honest
little
opinion.
secret.
Honest answer.
Listen, she was the God person for a very, very long time in this marriage, not me.
The whole time.
Yes, not now. Now,
Oh,
not
you're
now.
talking about, okay. Explain that.
Okay, so in the beginning, I didn't want to hear none of that.
He didn't want to hear nothing about God.
I mean, I'll go to. Just go ahead, go
Keep
get her.
going.
So I would be the one where I'd go to church with you. I would do a lot of stuff with you in the church, but I had an issue with God. Me and God had a problem. So God wasn't that to me at that time in our marriage. What was our child. There was no way I was going to allow my child to grow up into a broken home. So this was gonna get fixed. This wasn't an option. Divorce was never on the table because of that. And a lot of times you see, when you get married, you need to have children because you both need to be working towards a common goal together. A lot of times marriages with no kids don't work because there's nothing you're working forward to.
Right. Hold on, let me grab her.
Oh, we got the baby up, so spoiled little thing wins again. She even kicked herself out of her sleeper. Yeah, here, give it to me. Oh, come here, little girl.
I didn't want to put her on. Hold on, guys. I'm coming. That's not nice. Why you do that? That's not nice, girl. Okay, that was not nice. That was not nice, girlfriend. So,
So you were staying in the marriage back then, why?
So for one, yes, I knew that I was not leaving my marriage once I had my daughter.
See, you don't even have tears, little girl.
Not one tear. I knew I wasn't leaving my marriage when I had my daughter. I knew that she deserved better than what I had growing up. She deserved to have a 2-parent household from 2 people who love each other.
Hey. Okay.
Oh, she is acting up.
Oh, all right.
See, and then you got this.
There you go.
So I knew that she deserved better than the childhood that I had. Being a product of a divorce, that was tragic. So I knew that wasn't an option.
Okay, I'm
so,
gonna have to step away.
Okay.
She's about to go crazy.
Okay, that's fine. So, yeah.
Well, we can always just go.
So,
We can get the other questions out at another time and just have this be a part 2.
okay. Little princess being a little bad butt right now. Her being naughty.
Okay. All right. Okay.
She's so tired and just won't go to sleep. But anyways, did I answer the question? Okay, so, but you two were in a relationship because you knew God was the foundation. Absolutely. Listen, I knew God was my foundation regardless. And also, yeah, divorce was not an option. Let me see. Shell says, God is still refining me, teaching me biblical submission, helping me to fight that flesh in a being, helping me to fight that flesh in a being. Oh, and being a contentious wife, always thinking I'm right. Hubby is in his God-given role. My role is to respect. Come on. Listen, just relax. I learned that life is much easier now that I'm relaxed. You know? Being a wife is not, it's not hard as people try to make it. It's not as easy as people try to make it either. It's a job. So to go back with Shay's family was the fact, wait, where are my glasses? Hang on. So to go back with Shay's family was the fact that husband wasn't increased in God a factor of their treatment. Wait a minute. I think you might have typed that too fast. But I think I know what you're saying. You think you know what you're asking?
Kind of.
So to go back with Shay's family was the fact that husband wasn't increased in God a factor of their treatment. Oh, girl, no.
No, her family ain't
Experience
like
life. My family did not like him because he was white.
that. Yep.
Just to be completely honest with you. They were mad that I was marrying someone white. And that's just nothing, is no other, nothing about it. They didn't care if he was, you know, they didn't care if he was, I don't care, like, you know, like a monk or something.
Yep.
They didn't care if he was super religious. They didn't care if he was, you know, any of that. They didn't care if he treated me right. They didn't care if he would go upside my head. They cared about the fact that he was white. And that's what bothered me. Because it's like, you don't care about me, but you care about, you know, what it looks like for you when you have to explain that you have somebody white in your family now. You get what I'm saying? Like, sorry, I speak French. I'm trying my best in English. Oh my gosh.
Listen, we get
You're
it.
doing great. Because sometimes my text messages look like that anyways from autocorrect. So you're fine. But I feel like I answered your question. Oh, wow. That is so dope. She speaks French.
Yeah, and
That's so fire.
I'm the type of person that I'm not gonna pretend to be something I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's why I told you guys that, because I'm not gonna sit here and act like I was just the most godly man on the planet.
No,
I wasn't.
He was very far from that.
Very far.
Very
from
far.
it. But my wife saw the potential in me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm never gonna sit back and you know.
And I didn't have to harp
Be
on my,
that.
like I did. In the beginning of our marriage, I'm like, you know, we need to go to church, blah, 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 and God this and God that. And then after a while, because it was just like we were just butting heads, I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm unequally yoked to somebody. And, you know, that's real talk. And I felt like, oh my gosh, I married somebody, I'm unequally yoked. And God was just like, just hush. Just hush. Just stop. I got this. And sure enough, God began to deal with my husband on his own. For real. Am I telling the truth?
Yep, telling the truth.
I'm telling the truth. Like, it took me shutting my mouth. I stopped trying to harp on him about God this, God that. Like, God was like, I'm going to show myself to him. Don't even worry. Don't even worry about it. And now, you know, my husband knows him. He's seen too much. He's seen God move too much just based on who he's married to. He's seen things that are unheard of. And, you know, it just is what it is. Like, again, I did not call myself. Like, I know that I'm called. I know that God chose me for a time such as this. And it's been very hard to get trained in that area. That's why I get so frustrated. I was crying last night, was I not?
Yep.
I was crying real tears last night because I know that I'm supposed to be doing YouTube. Now, why am I doing YouTube? I don't know. God didn't give me that. He just said, do YouTube. And I've been fighting it. Y'all know I go in, I go out, I'm going here, I'm not. And I started consistently posting on YouTube. And I'm getting so much, you know, kickback. I'm getting witchcraft. I'm getting my videos being flagged. And it's so hard. And, you know, the people who just, you know, they just making it seem like, oh, I'm a prophet this, oh, I'm a prophetess that, and they ain't never going through nothing. They, you know, their following is going, you know, crazy, and it's nothing but the enemy trying to play with me and play on my mind and all of these things. And it's like, yes, it's a lot, but I'm gonna keep on fighting. I was in tears last night, literal tears, because it's hard. You know, to whom much is given, much is required. And a lot of people, they wasn't given this. That's why they're not required of anything. But when you're actually really called to something, number one, you run from it. And number two, it's so heavy sometimes you got to just cry it out. And I'm not talking about if you put yourself in a situation where now you crying. I'm not talking about that. When God puts you in a situation where, you know, you have to do his will, it's heavy and it hurts. And it's like, God, I don't know why I have to do this, but I have to do it because I'm being obedient. Like, you know, it's just wild. So my husband had to experience that on another level. And I feel, you know, sometimes I just feel so bad that he has to go through these things because of me. But anyways, I think we can wrap this up so I can get my baby girl to sleep over there.
She's asleep.
Is she asleep? She's exhausted. Like, girl, go to sleep. Stay asleep. She a piece of work, y'all. She really be doing me dirty. But anyways, again. Well, we only hit one of these topics.
Yeah.
So I guess we have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
Or part 3. I have so much written down on So You Want to Be Married. I want to get back into, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I feel like we touched on a few of each, but we have so much more to talk about. But for now, that's it. I love you guys. I will talk to you guys soon. Do not forget to email me at speakhervoice2too@gmail.com if you have any questions or a topic that you want to talk about, you know, anything like that. Do not forget to like this video, comment, share, subscribe. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. God bless.